The rain came down in thin needles that night, the kind that didn't announce itself with thunder, but soaked you through before you realized it was there, turning the back lot of the gas station into a slick, oil-sheened mirror under the buzzing fluorescent lights. And Officer Elena Morales stood alone beside her cruiser, radio crackling softly at her shoulder as she finished filing a routine report, unaware that the quiet humming of the pumps and the distant roar of the highway would soon give way to something far darker. Because Elena wasn't just any cop, she was new to the night shift, newly transferred, still carrying the weight of proving herself in a department that hadn't quite decided what to make of a woman who refused to back down, who wore her badge like a promise and her courage like second skin. And as she walked behind the gas station to check on a reported disturbance near the dumpsters, the shadows thickened, swallowing the weak light until even the rain seemed to hush. And that's when she heard the laughter, low and mean, slicing through the air. 3 voices at first, then more. Boots scraping against wet concrete as shapes peeled away from the darkness. Men with hard eyes and hungry grins, the kind of thugs who prowled places where they thought no one would see. And Elena's hand instinctively moved closer to her holster, her training kicking in even as her heart began to hammer, because she could feel it, the shift. The moment when a routine check turns into a fight for control. And she called out firm and clear, identifying herself as law enforcement, ordering them to step back, but her voice only fueled their amusement. The men circling now, cutting off her line of retreat, one of them mocking her badge, another stepping too close, breath sour with alcohol, and Elena stood her ground, spine straight, eyes sharp, reminding herself that fear was a tool and she wouldn't hand it over. Yet when one of them lunged and shoved her shoulder, the impact sent her stumbling against the brick wall, rainwater trickling down her neck as her radio crackled uselessly with static, the signal blocked by the concrete and steel around them. And in that moment, isolated and outnumbered, she felt the cold truth settle in. This was no longer about authority. It was about survival. She fought back with everything she had, knee strikes, sharp commands, a baton flashing in the dim light. But numbers have their own cruelty, and when another thug grabbed her from behind, wrenching her arms, the world narrowed to breath and pain and the furious pounding of her pulse. And somewhere in the chaos she caught sight of something that didn't belong, headlights cutting through the rain at the far edge of the lot. Not one car but many, engines rumbling low like distant thunder, and even as one of the men sneered that no one was coming for her, the ground itself seemed to vibrate, the sound growing louder, heavier, unmistakable to anyone who'd ever heard it before. Motorcycles, big ones, rolling in formation. And for a split second the thugs hesitated, their attention flicking toward the entrance as silhouettes appeared through the rain, leather-clad figures dismounting with a calm that sent a chill down Elena's spine, because she recognized the patches even before the light caught them fully, the winged skulls stitched boldly on black vests. Hell's Angels, a name that carried its own mythology, its own fear, its own rules. And the air shifted again, not into safety yet, but into something else entirely. A charged stillness where everyone understood that the night had just taken a turn no one expected. The thugs muttering now, bravado cracking as the bikers approached in silence, boots splashing in puddles, eyes unreadable beneath rain-darkened brows. And one of the angels stepped forward, his presence commanding without a word, glancing first at Elena, blood at her lip, uniform torn, eyes still defiant, then at the men who had cornered her. And when he finally spoke, his voice was low, steady, carrying over the rain like a warning bell, asking a single question that froze the scene in place. Is there a problem here? And in that moment, Elena realized something profound, something she would replay in her mind for years to come, that sometimes help arrives, wearing the face you least expect, and the line between danger and protection can blur in ways that challenge everything. You think you know, and as the thugs backed away, hands raised, the rain falling harder as if the sky itself held its breath, Elena's story was only just beginning, because what the Hells Angels would do next would ripple far beyond that gas station, far beyond that night. And if you want to know how this shocking encounter unfolds, how courage collides with honor in the most unlikely way, and how one woman's strength sparks an unthinkable stand, make sure you stay with us and subscribe to the channel, because Chapter 2 will reveal the truth that left an entire city stunned.